So I was watching some Karlson devlogs and oh, you don't know what Karlson is? It's a game Danny's working on, currently the 18th most wishlisted game on Steam, so make sure you wishlist it now, gamers. Sorry, I had to do it. Anyway, the devlogs that Danny makes are cool, but the problem is that Karlson devlogs are kind of dead right now. And apparently Karlson will never be released. But don't you worry, as the ancient Sun Tzu, the professional Fortnite gamer, once said, if you want a Karlson devlog, make a Karlson devlog. So I made my own Karlson game and my own Karlson devlog. Here is how it turned out. So here's the plan. We want to make a short Karlson game. Karlson games usually involves weapons, robots, yellow dudes and milk. A lot of milk. And we want to make a game out of that. Now we want the game to be a short but cool experience. So I came up with a runner game where you play as Karlson and you have to reach the end of the road where you drink that sweet milk. The player will face all kinds of obstacles that Karlson faces in his original games, like robots, yellow dude guys, cars, and of course, the final boss, Willy. So let's start making the game and hope to God nothing bad happens. So I started making Karlson model using Blender. There is nothing wrong about it and oh my god, Karlson, put your pants back on! Sorry, I went to blink a Clorox for my eyes. Now let's rig him up, which is basically giving him bones. But apparently that made Karlson look like he's made out of cardboard and I guess you can call him Cardson. Ooh. So let's put him into the game engine and see how it turns out. And yeah, I don't know. Then I modeled some weapons for him. The pistol, AT-48 and the boomer. But I didn't realize how big they are until I imported them to the game engine. It was so big that for a minute I thought that Karlson is holding your mom. Hehehe. Anyway, back to animating. I made a running animation, jumping animation, sliding animation, and most importantly, vibing animation. So anyway, you can see him now jumping, sliding, shooting and sliding, etc. Now we have to make a level generation system so Karlson won't fall into the infinite abyss. Because falling into the infinite abyss kinda sucks. But that made Karlson for some reason split reality in half, causing two Karlsons to exist in the same space and time. Weird. Then I added some boxes that you can break by sliding on them or by shooting them. But yeah, apparently we are on the moon because it just floats away. I don't know why, it just does. Next we need some enemies to shoot at. Now one of the enemies Karlson games have are those yellow dudes. So I added them in the game, gave them a gun, but they ended up shooting themselves, so that's pretty cool, I guess. But don't you worry, I fixed them. Now instead of killing themselves, he kills his teammates. But hey, that's an improvement. Also guys, is it me or is Karlson looking kinda thick? I also modeled a car and I messed up the scale once again. So they look so tiny and cute. Just look at this. How can this kill anything? I also made a robot and gave him a frowny face. Now they aren't much different from yellow dude guys, except that they shoot from their arm instead of holding a weapon. Also they are not any smarter as they keep killing their teammates as well. Idiots. Now it's time to add some red boys. Now red boys are the strongest enemies in the game, where not only they can wield the strongest weapons, but they can slide, making them harder to shoot at and giving them the ability to shoot at the player if he was sliding. So yeah, trick red boys. After making all of this, I was pretty tired, so I took a quick milk break. So I returned from my milk break and I realized that we have an issue. When you play the game for too long, a lot of objects will end up being on the level doing basically nothing, making it a huge waste for the memory. So in order to fix this problem, we have to make a recycling system. If you don't know what that is, it is basically when the game doesn't want an object anymore, it hides it somewhere far away in the sky, and when it needs it again, it teleports where it's supposed to be. This will protect the game from lag spikes, as creating objects from nothing is memory consuming. Now we will start making the boss, Willy. Now in the original Karlson game, Willy is a robot boss that has a rocket launcher, a minigun and a laser blaster. We will try to recreate this boss in our game. So I went to Blender, modeled the rocket and Willy, put this down, this is a family friendly channel, Willy. And now Willy can shoot homing missiles at the player, except that they ended up flopping all over the place, so we will fix that later on. Then I made the machine gun which shoots bullets. Nothing really interesting here. But do you know what's interesting? The laser blaster. Simply Willy rises up his satellite thingamajig from his head to shoot a gigantic laser that is hard to dodge and will fry Karlson if he touched it. So in order to deal damage to Willy, occasionally a gun that you can pick up spawns and you have to use it against the weapon that Willy is currently using. Dealing a lot of damage into a particular weapon will cause it to break and Willy can no longer use that weapon. In order to take him down, the player has to destroy the 3 weapons. Now that's some smart boss design, am I right, gamers? If we hit 1000 likes, guys, I will literally drink orange juice. So make sure you slap the like button, gamers. Now the boss is ready. The only thing that is missing is a totally dramatic intro, where 2 black bars appear and Willy just fall from the roof. That's not really dramatic, but it is what it is. So I tried to recreate this fall in my game, but the results are... let's not talk about them. But I fixed it and now it is perfect. Anyway, I felt good on how the boss turned out. So I posted the gameplay footage on Dani's subreddit and everyone likes it. Yippee! And there are people who are actually anticipating it. That is something that never happened to me before in any of my games. So we should not disappoint them. Okay, now the game is finished. Except that it's not. We still need some music to the game, and if you watched my previous videos you would know that I'm not very good with making music. So instead we will request permission from Karlson music composers Evan King and Neo Norman. Evan King was super cool about it and he did give me permission for his music. Thanks Evan, very cool. Neo Norman on the other hand, well, this guy doesn't even exist. He doesn't have a link to a Twitter account or email. So I couldn't get the permission from him, so I couldn't use Willy's theme in my game. Luckily, I spotted the best deal in history of deals. A music studio named Dark Fantasy Studios were selling licenses over 300 music tracks for only $25. Almighty, don't mind me. Roses are red, violets are blue. I'll take that offer from you. So the music is there, sound effects are there. Do you know what did we miss? Something small and always makes you happy? Yeah, you guessed it. Hats. I included a bunch of hats that you can purchase from the shop, as well as clothes and upgrades. Oh right, I also added Billy. And here we go, Karlson Run is now done. We have a tutorial level, street level, rooftop level, prison level and the boss. Now it's time to export them to browser, Windows and Android. But we have a teeny whiny little problem. I have to ask Dani for permission first before making the game publicly available to everyone, because that's how fan-made games work. So I tagged him on Twitter, posted on his subreddit Well, he didn't answer any of my requests. Maybe he's really dead. Well, technically he didn't say no, so we're good to go, baby. Aha, Karlson Run, go brr vroom skirt boom whoosh. And that's Karlson Run development in a nutshell. Believe me, there were way more things I made for this game, but I didn't want for the video to become too long and too boring. The game is completely free and it's available down below in the description. And before you go, I want you to contact Dani on Twitter and tell him to play my game. And Dani, if you're watching this, why don't you beat Karlson Run? Or you can't do that? And that's the wrap, fellas. If you want more devlogs from me, make sure you slap that like button and slap the subscribe button. As I said before, 1000 likes and I will drink orange juice, I promise. Also 1000 subscribers and I will rescue Evan King from Dani's basement. So anyway, thank you very much for watching. You're very epic, sir or lady or robot. Drink your milk, freak Willy and beat your Willy.